Hello and welcome to my channel, Roisin Cura here. Today I'm going to take you along the motorway that crosses Ireland from east to west. Sometimes I like to sketch when I'm driving along or being driven. So I started drawing this little car in front of us, knowing full well that things might change at any minute, and sure enough it did change. Perhaps the car got sick of seeing us in its rearview mirror, but all of a sudden it shot off into the distance. And I asked my husband would he try and close the gap a little bit, and he did. And then the car was going a bit too slowly, so my husband thought he might overtake. And I said, don't overtake, then I won't be able to draw it at all. Now this is me trying to use my small palette of colour to make green for the back window. And it's a type of green I usually make using phthalo green and a little bit of Payne's grey, but I didn't have either of those colours in my set today, in this tiny little set. So for some strange reason I'm using yellow and velvet black. It's azo yellow and velvet black, and they don't make green at all. So never mind, I put it onto the window of the car and decided to see whether that might do. It was okay. Well, it wasn't really okay, and after a while I remembered I had my other set of colours with me. I was only using the very small box because I figured it would be less likely to fall off with all the bumping around in the car. But still, it wasn't really worth the sacrifice of getting very much the wrong shade of green. From here onwards, the sketch began to go quite dramatically wrong. I quite like the way I've done the trees on the bank on the right-hand side. It's just that they're far too low in relation to the car on the left. Never mind. Onto the sky, and it's a very overcast, dull day, and I have a really nice technique for doing clouds. All you do is put on some clean water onto the bit where you've got the tops of the clouds and the bottom bits, and then you drop some very dilute colour into the bottom half of the clouds and just let the colour bleed up. Now, as you can see, I've done a poor job of making the sketch look believable, and in fact the cars on the right look like they're in a ditch and in standstill traffic, neither of which is the case. Anyway, there you go. You win some, you lose some. I enjoyed the sketch nonetheless, even though it's a pretty poor show of my trip in the car today.